Alright, let's talk a little more about text. I talked about layer styles, but just to give you another option for text, I want to show you how to use a clipping mask. And I've opened a few files here, some textures, some JPEG images I purchased, a pack on Graphic River, along with a wood picture. And I'm going to use these as textures, and I'm going to put them on top of my text and have them as my texture on my text, and you'll see what I'm talking about here in a second. So let's go ahead and let's move this to a new window so we can just drag it and drop it right here. Alright, it's going to cover the whole image. That's fine, because what I'm going to do here now is I've got this layer 1. Okay, I'm going to drag this down right above highway. Okay, and then the other thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this highway, because I still want to keep this just in case I don't want to screw anything up. So I'm going to duplicate that layer. Okay, I'm going to turn off the original one, and then so now I've just made a copy of it, so if I screw anything up I've still got the original if I decide to make any changes. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to right click on my layer, my blue texture. You see it's got this grainy texture. Alright, and then I'm going to go here to, after right clicking on that image, I'm going to go to create clipping mask, and I'm right above the file, the piece of text that I want. So you can see if I go ahead and turn this off now, there's my original. Okay, and there's my new one with that texture overlaid on top. Now you can see here I can still resize the clipping mask to kind of change the texture. You see as I move, the texture kind of changes, because all it's doing is taking this image. Alright, so if I was to right click on it and release the clipping mask, it's taking this image here and clipping it onto this piece of text that's set my copy of highway. So create clipping mask, and it's going to just cover that text. Alright, then I can still go and, like on this copy of the text, if I like that bevel look, I can keep that. But if I go to right click, I can clear the layer style, which, remember, just clears all these blending options. So I can go to clear layer style, and that'll give it like a flat look. And then what I can do now is I can go and go to blending options, and I'll just put like I can put like a little drop shadow here. Alright, some people despise the drop shadow, and if you overuse it, it can be a little amateurish, but in this case I think we just need a little something to have this text stand out against the gravel. So you can see what I did there. I took that texture, this blue texture, this blue image, and I put it on top of this text to create a new style of text. Okay, now I can do this with darker image. I can move this to a new window real quick. We'll drag it down here, we'll drop it. Okay, now what I'm going to do is go ahead and turn the blue one off. Okay, and because I dropped it right in, it's already, I didn't even have to create the clipping mask, it's already there. Alright, so go ahead and size it down, double click to accept it. Alright, go resize it even more. You can see now if I resize it, okay, I lose that mask. Alright, because what this is like I said, it's this image, and if I release it, oops, I gotta double click to apply it. Alright, if I release it, it's this image, but what I'm doing is just clipping it onto this piece of text. That's why it's called a clipping mask. Alright, so I just clipped it right onto this text and only this text, and I can do that with any kind of image. Like I said, I have those two blue images I used. I have another one if I wanted to make it like a wooden texture, a wooden piece of text. I can take this image, I can drag it onto here. Okay, so I'll go ahead and turn this one off. I need to move this down here, and it'll clip automatically because I have the other one clipped. So let me go ahead and step backward. Alright, I'll go ahead and unclip, release this clipping mask. Now I'll go ahead and put it right on top of, right above, directly above the copy, the highway text I want. Right click, create clipping mask. Boom. Clips to that piece of text, and now I have wooden text. Okay. And you see, if I make that image smaller, you can play around and get it to where you want it, different parts of the image. Alright, just like that, a little more detailed. Alright, now let's say I decide I don't want that, we'll release it. Okay, and I want to put it over cold. Not that that makes a lot of sense here for this piece of cover, but I'll go ahead now, right click on this layer, the wooden layer, and it'll clip it to my piece of cold text. Alright, so you kind of see how that works. Different ways you can use that, and very simple way to really jazz up your text and give you some other options.